Hi everyone, and welcome back to Sit in It for a Bit with Arne and Carlos. And we are, as always, your hosts.
Arne and Carlos.
And we are back with our monthly podcast, Sit in It for a Bit. If you are a first-time viewer, it's called Sit in It for a Bit because you knit and we talk. We will be talking about knitting, of course, but there's a lot of other things to cover in this episode. So it's not a pure knitting podcast. If you think it's more of a lifestyle channel, what we have here on YouTube. And we have a lot of followers who have been following us for years and who love sit in it for a bit. And we hope you will too.
So we're going to talk and you can knit.
Right.
Actually, we don't have microphones today because they were dead.
Yeah.
Our microphones. So I'm going to try to speak loud because people say I'm so quiet.
Or you speak low.
Or low, so soft-spoken.
Yeah, we don't have time to charge the microphones. We need to record this podcast because we are trying to get it out today. So it is almost live, not quite, but almost. And therefore we have to speak without microphones. We hope it's okay if you're struggling with the sound on today's episode. Hopefully you can turn up the volume. And next time we will be doing it with microphones. So it's sometimes, life gives you lemons. And you make lemonade. So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And we're actually very busy today because we had some drama on the last cruise.
Oh God, the drama.
So I have to go to the yarn store,
the
sewing
store, haberdashery
store.
Yeah. So we live on top of a mountain, quite isolated. But if we drive down 8 kilometers, which takes about 15 minutes, it's downhill all the way. We arrive at the highway. It's not a highway, but it is a road, a big road that takes people to the mountains. And there is a shopping mall there, a small shopping mall, not like a 600 store mall. This is like 6 stores. And there is a haberdashery in another store a little bit further down in that town.
And there's 2 thrift stores.
And 2 thrift stores. It's called Bang. That's where we usually buy our groceries. We did a video a few years ago of us grocery shopping in Bang. We've got a florist there where we can get flowers, which is quite nice. And there's a sports store, for all our hiking gear.
New skis, if you need new skis.
Yeah, and we have a pharmacy, and there's a liquor store as well. Yeah. And then the haberdashery is a little further down. Yeah,
and a hairdresser.
And a hairdresser.
Which we never use, as you can see.
No, as you can see, right? Anyway, let's tell you all about the drama. We had some drama on this last trip. I went to buy a shirt. I had... last year when we were in London, I saw a denim shirt that I really liked. I didn't buy it, and it's been on my mind all the time. And I've been looking for a denim shirt since I didn't buy that one, and I haven't found one that I really liked, like the one I didn't buy. Until we arrived in Trondheim a couple of weeks ago on the cruise. I went into the store and there was my denim shirt, so I bought it. Now, as I left the store, the alarms went off. It was crazy. And I was wearing my lanyard with my key card for the room, for the cabin on the ship. And the girl in the store said to me, "Oh, it's probably that, never mind." So I walked out, and then I crossed the street into the Husfliden where we had been previously, and they all know me there. I walk in, it starts beeping like crazy,
So that alarm works everywhere.
It works everywhere, yeah. And then when I went out, the whole thing again. And I turned around and I said, "I don't know what's wrong with me today." And she said, "Well, it's probably your lanyard with your key card." Okay, fine. So go to the ship, take a shower and change. And of course, I want to wear my new denim shirt. As I'm walking around deck, I feel something on the side. And then one of our guests pinpoints that I am wearing the alarm from the store.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm not very happy. How do you take that off? Number one, is there ink in it? Because if, one idea, go down to the store on the ship. They have a little boutique. Hopefully they have a system there. They don't. And
alarms.
also I kept apologizing. I said, "I did not steal it. I paid for it. I have a receipt." And as I'm saying that, suddenly I get a text from the police. And I'm like, I'm talking to the woman and I'm seeing on my phone, it says "Politiet," which in Norwegian means the police. I'm like, what now? What now?
What have you
maybe
done?
maybe they're thinking I stole the shirt. how can the police be contacting me? Well, I check closer, and the police is just telling me that it's time to renew my ID. So, okay, it wasn't that. She says to me that maybe we could go to a store and ask them to remove the label like the day after. I'm like, I don't want to do that because they're going to think I stole it, even if I have a receipt. Anyway, long story short, I asked her if there is an engineer on board with tools. She says yes. I give the shirt to the engineer, and it comes back to me. The tag's still on, but now the shirt is ripped.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't careful enough. Obviously, he might know about engineering things. He knows nothing about textiles. That's for sure.
Well,
Right?
but it was easy to get it off.
Oh yeah, MacGyver here.
MacGyver.
So we
I
go
did
back
it.
to the cabin. I'm now completely devastated. The shirt's now torn, and the tag's still on it. I go to the bathroom. I'm away for 1 second. I come out of the bathroom. I think I just went in to wash my hand. I come out and Arne is holding the tag. Hey, I removed the tag. And don't worry, I can fix the shirt. So
That's what I'm doing today.
that's what Arne is doing
But
today.
you know, it was broken. There was a little rift, what you call it?
Yeah, rip.
Rip, and the tag is moving, so it was easy just to slide it through the hole and
Yeah.
off it went. If I knew that before, if you had showed the shirt to me before you went to that technician,
Yeah.
I would have found out that it's actually moving. Then I would have opened the seam
Yeah.
and pulled it out.
Yeah. So if
This
anybody
is not tips for anybody who want to go
stealing,
shoplifting.
no, but
Because
if
you need time to open
yeah.
the seam.
But if you by chance happen to have a shirt or something with one of those security tags on, this is your guy. He can remove
Just
it.
call me.
Yeah. Anyway, the infamous denim shirt. Everybody's going to know. We're going to Canada in 10 days. I am wearing my denim shirt in Canada. That's why I bought it.
Yeah, that's why I need to get out
Yeah.
today. I need sewing thread.
And it's going to be the piece of conversation
Yeah.
during that trip. Anyway, it's done. I contacted the store because I felt that somehow so it's not my fault. The shop attendant, I bought 2 pairs of jeans as well. The shop attendant should have been a little bit more careful and done her job. I don't blame her. Human accidents can happen, so it's not her fault. But anyway, it's not my fault. And then the repercussions were harder than I could take. Really, I mean, the shirt ripped because I tried to take off the tag, which shouldn't have been there in the first place. I contacted the store. The store offered me a discount if I took it to a tailor and had it fixed, or if I returned it to the store and they could fix it. And I opted for the second.
Because I am
The tailor.
the tailor.
Arne's the tailor. I'm paying him.
You haven't
the
seen the bill
discount.
yet.
No, that's
No.
true.
How much
But-
do you think I can take for that?
I don't know. Anyway, problem solved. We are all good and happy.
We're
and I have
happy. We're
a
happy.
shirt.
Yeah.
This is the cruise that is now, thanks to Hohi, it's becoming the infamous cruise with the really bad weather. Thank you for that, Hohi.
Yeah, actually, it was on the way up. We saw the northern. Actually, we didn't, because you can put on this alarm on your phone if there's northern light. But do we get out of bed for northern lights? No,
No.
we don't do that anymore. So we didn't see it, but we heard. Or we saw pictures. So there were northern light 2 nights. I think after in a row, and it was cloudy.
Yeah.
But I don't mind clouds because I'm going to be sitting indoors or outdoors knitting anyway, so I don't care. But on the way down, we had some rough sea.
Yeah, Hohi was right. The weather was terrible.
Yeah.
And it was terrible, in my opinion, it was terrible from beginning to end. We did not have much sun.
That's
There
not
was
terrible.
hardly any sun. It was raining a lot. It was raining a lot. Now, Norwegians say there's no bad weather, only poor clothing choices. That applies to our trip upwards to the north. So that's fine. But then, yeah, southbound, we had a bit of weather. Not heavy storms. It wasn't that the ship was going like that all the time.
No, but we
But-
had a little bit.
But there was, well,
was sick.
actually, on this trip, what I felt was a constant movement. It wasn't that it was going like this and we were going like that, but that constant movement was quite annoying. And then they kept canceling stops.
My pills didn't work in the end.
No, not.
Yeah, they cancelled the Lofoten on the way down.
Yeah, and Brønnøysund.
Brønnøysund.
And Stokmarknes.
And we were all dressed up. We were ready to go to the yarn store because bad weather has never
in Vadsø,
stopped us
they
buying
cancelled
yarn.
Vadsø or Vardø.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one.
One of them.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
But yeah, no, it was terrible weather, fantastic cruise, highly unusual, I have to say. We usually don't cruise in November, December, and January here in Norway because of this kind of weather. It's the first time we've ever had it in March. But then again, weather patterns are crazy. And then we were talking to somebody at Aller, the company that Aller Travel, the company that organizes our cruises. And she was saying that she had a house in Portugal and the weather had been quite bad there in the last week. So it seems like Europe has just had a spell of bad weather, and it's been in all of Europe.
I read in the news that there was snow in Tenerife, or how do you pronounce that?
Tenerife.
Tenerife.
Tenerife in Spanish.
Tenerife. And that's not normal. So, but we did a lot of knitting.
Exactly.
I think it's, and we had a very nice group. A lot of people were knitting together every day. So that was actually very nice.
Right. And even if Hohi wrote so that everybody could see that the weather was terrible, she also wrote that it was one of the best trips in her life. And I have to agree, I think you too. It was one of the best cruises that we've ever done. And not because of the weather, but because of the group and because of her presence and because all the other things, you know, except for the weather, kind of aligned, and it was just fantastic. And inviting Hohi to join us was a really nice thing that we did, and we got the results that we wanted because we wanted to offer our guests something else or something to complement us. And we were thinking north and south, and we were thinking we're from the north, Hohi is from the south. And we know, I mean, from when we met her, that she was so warm and lovely. And now we have it confirmed that Hohi is warm and lovely, and everybody loved her, and we love her, and we can't wait until we do something else with her.
Have to do something again. And you got a new hiking
buddy. Hohi became my hiking buddy, or I became her hiking buddy.
Because you like to hike. I also like to hike sometimes,
but not all the time.
If there's a thrift store around, I rather hike to the thrift store.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Hohi and I were hiking as much as we could together, getting to know each other very well, and just having a nice time. I was born in South America, so even though my parents are not South American, I am South American because I was born there. And it was nice having another South American on the cruise with all that nice South American flair and warmth that she has.
And you could speak Spanish again.
I could speak Spanish with her. And that's also something, you know, my mother passed away in June. And my mother, in my adulthood, not living in a Spanish-speaking country, my mother is the only person I spoke Spanish with. And when my mother died, I felt, and I have felt for a very long time, that I was losing part of my identity, who I am, because I wasn't speaking Spanish anymore. So having Hohi on the trip and being able to spend time alone with her and communicate with her in Spanish was actually a gift, a big gift for me, which I'm very grateful for. So that was very nice. And my God, what a knitter and what an expert she is. She is incredibly knowledgeable.
Yeah.
She really knows what she's doing. She even shared some tips and secrets with us.
Yeah, we had some...
and with the group, obviously, yeah.
We had a very interesting conversation because when she talked about how she did the raglan sweater from top down, she do it exactly the same way as I do it when I do bottom up. It's all about the mathematics and the proportions of the sleeve and the body, which a lot of people don't understand, but she does. She knows it. And
she knows
she
everything.
also learned when she was a kid from home, and I think we have a lot of things in common.
We do, yeah.
We picked up stuff from when we were kids, and we grew up with knitting. So it was very nice, very interesting.
And it's incredible. I mean, two Northerners meet a Southerner, and 25, 30 years ago, who would have known that it would be possible to connect with someone from the other side of the world with something that we all have in common and that we love. in this way. So it is, we are privileged and lucky to be able to do what we do and to be able to share this with other people. It's a gift, truly, that we have and that we have to cherish every day.
Yeah.
And speaking about that, also, I mean, she talked about her secrets, shared them with the group, and suddenly people were knitting socks. People who never knit socks before were knitting socks. I mean, all in all, it was a fantastic trip, even if the weather was terrible. Now let's talk about the project. We did a big collaboration this time. We can start with the bag.
First.
So it's a big collaboration in every single sense that we did different parts, and then it all came together as one. Arne and I designed the tote bag, which is this is a very limited edition. We only printed 50.
Unless we do it again.
Hohi, if you're listening, it's a limited edition until we do it again, okay? So this is the tote bag, Japanese bento box bag, perfect for your yarn and things to carry around the ship. And then we have the knitting under the Borealis with a very cutesy ship, the Hurtigruten ship, designed in a very kind of simplified way. And then Arne Carlos, Hohi knits. So that was our contribution. And then we did a design as well but maybe we'll talk about Hohi's first.
Hohi first.
So she did a design.
So that's the first one.
Yeah, this is the real one though.
This
is the one this is what it was supposed to be. So Hohi did this very lovely, it's called a kchief. So you kind of tie it around like that. Or you could also wear it as a, wow.
But maybe cool. Not you. But...
Maybe not me, but other people could wear it like that. And it's mosaic knitting.
Yeah,
I think it's called.
With cable, and that's the right version.
This is the correct version.
This is the wrong.
So this is what you do when you read instructions.
And I didn't read
this is what you don't do, or this is what you do when you don't read instructions.
I think this is the wrong. I think this is nice also.
They're both nice.
Because we got the pattern and I had to try it out, so I did, and I didn't read.
Yeah.
I didn't read properly.
Right. Anyway.
So I started with the wrong color.
But you did it right in the end. Anyway, so this is Hohi's project, a little triangle, a handkerchief. You could actually keep adding repeats and making a bigger thing if you wanted to. And the pattern for this belongs to Hohi. It doesn't belong to us. So I'm sorry, but we can't give you or sell you the pattern. However, Hohi did tell us that she will post the pattern for this on her website and in her web shop later on in the year. So so you'll just have to wait until Hohi does it. But it will be available as a pattern by her. So you'll be able to get this. And actually, Hohi designed this, and then we told her to choose the colors. We had sent her orange and yellow, mustard and brown. No, sorry, we had sent her mustard and brown, and she wasn't very fond of the colors we sent her. I said to her, well, it's a challenge. Now you design something to make the colors beautiful. And she ended up loving the colorway, but we talked about an alternative color for the group, and she chose this teal and this gray, which are very nice. So we did the bag, and Hohi chose the colors, and then she did this project, and then we wanted to do a project to complement the hat, not to compete with it, but to complement
so we did
it.
a hat.
Oh, sorry, to complement the kchief. Yes.
Two different versions, because we put like cast on with a color, color, and so I did two versions, one with white rib and one with green.
Yeah.
And then you can wear these together.
Yeah,
and so, it's not matchy,
no.
but it's the same colors.
We are not very much into the matchy. I mean, it would have been, we could have done a hat with some cables on it to match, but we figured that it could be nice to give a compliment.
And stay with something typical Norwegian.
They complement each other, but they're completely different. You can wear them together and they look good, or you can wear them separately, and yeah. So it was fun. Arne brought his pom-pom maker. Everybody was making pom-poms in the end.
Yep.
And it looked like everybody enjoyed doing the project on board. We certainly did.
This needs some trimming.
Yeah, the pom-pom needs a little trimming. So yeah, it was a fun project to realize, and everybody was very happy with the results. And then, as I said, some people ended up learning from Hohi how to knit socks as well. You know, we don't do classes in a trip like this because there is no real classroom, but we're all together in the Panorama Lounge and we're all socializing, getting to know each other, knitting together. And then you can talk about things, you know, you can talk with a little group and then you can move on and talk to another group, which is what we were doing all the time.
And we were lucky because we had one day in Ålesund on a Sunday. So both Hohi and we did the lecture that day.
Yes.
Because when you think about it now, it's probably good.
Get it done.
I couldn't have said a word on the way down with the rocky sea.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Get the lecture done. Originally or normally we would have done the lecture, the second lecture, which would have been Hohi's lecture, would have been done on the day that we had the waves. So it was good that we did it when we were standing still in Ålesund.
Yeah.
But anyway, a fantastic cruise. We loved it. We love her. I can't wait to hang out with her again. And maybe we'll do something else with her in the future. I think we'd definitely do something else if she wanted to, because it was really nice. She was talking about meeting up with us when we were in Peru. I mean, she's also not very far away when we are in the same continent. So
that would be nice.
So that would be nice if we can manage to do that.
Maybe you should show your project.
Yeah, and then
what were you knitting on?
I had also my. I'm saying also like I did all the other things.
Also yours.
Yeah. Now I know how to knit. I'm not the master that Hohi or Arne are, and I'm slow. So.
But you have a nice
sue
tension.
me.
Nice tension.
So one of our latest sock yarns, I am actually knitting. I want to knit all of them.
You lose.
I lost
a needle.
I feel like I lost a needle, but it's on the floor, so it's okay.
It was the loose one because these needles are very good.
Yeah, and here is here is what it looks like. It's the beltestock, so it's got wide stripes, and then it's got some little speckles there, and then you've got the stripes alternate with the different purple and burgundy and the greens and the blues. So it's very nice. Very, very happy with this. And what's fun with this thing is that we don't really, you know, I mean, it's a printed yarn. You've probably seen our videos from Romania, from the factory there. And if not, they're quite fun to see how the machine works. But the yarn is printed. We design a template and then the engineers have to interpret the template and create the yarn so that it creates this. Not very easy. It's an engineered yarn. It takes a lot of time. It's mathematical programs that calculate where you need to print the correct color in order to get this. So this is very, I mean, what we send them is quite abstract and it's never knitted. It's a sketch. And so it's always, and then we choose the colors, obviously. And it's always fun to knit later on to see exactly what we've done. And this one's fun to knit. Yeah. And I'm going to try to knit some of the other effects as well. I do enjoy rediscovering our designs because, you know, we've never done this when we create this, if it makes sense. It makes sense, doesn't it?
It makes sense, yeah. And I'm going to do t-shirts in every color.
Yeah, okay. Let me just grab my needle.
I didn't bring my t-shirt.
Oh, what a pity.
Still under construction.
Still under construction.
Because I started one and then I got another dye lot. The yarn were different. I don't know why. Maybe I got the first collection and then I got the other collection. So I started over again. So I did like, I'm almost up to under the sleeves on that one. And
so at some point we will show you the t-shirt and what it looks like when you knit the sock yarn in a bigger design. The stripes become more narrow, but it's beautiful.
But if it works, we're going to do a pattern.
Yeah.
So if you want to try yourself, you can do that.
And we're super excited that we have designed a new sock yarn that will be coming. It will be available at the end of the year. So let's not talk too much about it, except the colors are very fun and different. And, you know, color theory or colors in that we choose at any given time, we're influenced by trends and things, or maybe even before the trends happen. So now we're seeing in our head a lot of browns with blues, with pinks. And Arne has been knitting something really nice that we want to show you.
At first I made...
No, show the other one first. Because
this
it's so
one
nice.
first?
Yeah.
I did this on the last cruise. So it's something we did many years ago, and it was never made. It was very trendy with bows at the time. So I'd finished. This is the front piece.
Very cool.
And I like the colors.
Yeah, I like that. I like those browns mixed with these light blues and then the burgundy and the pink. It's very, very nice colors. And we have a lot of this coming in our new sock yarns, which we are very excited about.
And this is knitted back and forth with knit and purl, like you purl the pattern. So
which Norwegians hate.
yes, but I didn't like to cut out the neckline or steek it or what you call it, because it's two pieces like a vest.
Yeah.
It's I also almost finished the back. So
you could show the other one too.
yeah, so this will be sewn together on the shoulder, and then it's buttoned on the side. Someone told me the name in English, some Tabot. I can't remember the name, but I found it in a book.
It's probably from the medieval ages.
Yeah, this was part of the folk or what people or men were wearing actually in Gudbrandsdalen, where I'm from, and it's called magabord. So this is another one I made. That, and with this pewter, what's it called?
Pewter buttons on the side.
On the side, and of course 8-leaf roses on the buttons, since we have those. The same as the hat, the half 8-leaf rose.
Yeah.
And
it's very nice.
I took it out and changed the neckline, because the neckline I didn't like it, and I felt it became bigger when I used it. So I made a smaller neckline, so this one can actually get a little bit bigger with more.
I like a turtleneck too. I think a turtleneck could be nice.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to try to finish this now and this before we go to Canada, and send it to the lady who do the gradings for us and check it. So maybe it will be out soon. And this will also be a sweater, because I think these colors are really nice.
I think the other one's really nice for a sweater too.
Both can be sweaters, and also with this green on top. So it's like more Norwegian sporty style, a different color on top. So that's what I was working on. And I found a doll in the thrift shop in Honningsvåg. This is the unique eye. She looks at you wherever you go. So I made her a new dress. Where's the dress? There it is. Or a skirt. It was supposed to be a dress, but it ended up as a skirt. But it's not finished. So, and this is not her clothes. She came with some really bad clothes. This is for something else from a thrift store in America, but I think she looks good in this. And we have another one. This is the first one. We bought her in Italy, and she also had the same.
Yeah, they're the same. Yeah.
But she also had this dress from another doll that she actually can wear. I think they are kind of cool, and I think you can use the blight clothes for them. I'm not sure. I haven't tried it yet, but we have almost a collection. We have two of them, one each.
One each. Yeah.
Yes.
Then we got home from the cruise, and the Rowan magazine was waiting for us, and we have a design in it. We have been working with Rowan for many years now. We're part of the designers in Rowan, but sometimes it's quite funny, because we looked through the whole magazine and we couldn't rember what we sent them, because this is over a year ago. I think.
We haven't done much the last year.
But it's this one here.
It took time. We found it.
This one. Sorry, I don't want to cover you up, but this is our design. It's like a striped sweater.
But we have no clue when. I can't remember when that was done.
It must be a year ago.
Well, maybe
they're
more.
calling it kelle. And it's a cotton cashmere stripes and some lace detailing. So
yes, you see, it's hard to remember everything.
So page 64, there's a design by us there. Yeah. And the design on the opposite page that I'm desperately trying to hide is actually quite nice. Very nice. It's from Lisa, our friend Lisa Richardson.
Desperately trying to
I'm sorry. No, I want to hide it, not because of that, but I want people to understand which one is ours and which one is not. I want to take credit for something.
The blue
someone
and
else has
white
done.
is ours.
The blue and white is ours. So yeah,
I can't remember if we done it.
Well, I can't remember. But our life has been quite hectic, as we were saying, and this is the year of travel. Before the cruise, we actually even made it to England, and we spent a couple of days in London.
Oh yeah, you have to show the nice.
Yeah, we wanted to see. We hadn't seen the Marie Antoinette exhibit at the V&A. We wanted to see it, and we already had tickets to go see Giselle at the Royal Ballet. So we went to see the Marie Antoinette, and we got a book as well. It was a very nice exhibit. So if you went and saw it, you know what a treat that was. Especially seeing the beautiful dresses from the 18th century.
A lot of inspiration. Like when you look at all the details, there's so much you could do for other things.
Yeah.
So it was very inspiring, and I got so inspired. I have to show you my jacket. It's there because. I found this little bee. So I put that on my blazer, or my, is that blazer?
Blazer.
Blazer.
Yes.
So I have two of these from our friend Marilyn. If you see this, Marilyn, now they are both on the jacket. And then a new one from Marie Antoinette.
Yeah.
But I had one more and I can't find them.
It's somewhere.
Maybe it's a little bit too much bling.
Who knows?
Who knows?
But it was a nice exhibition. It was nice seeing 18th century dresses that were worn by other people in her time. There was one especially beautiful. It was a wedding dress of the Queen Ulrika Eleonora of Sweden, I think it was.
Which one was that?
It was the first dress. It was a silver dress with a long cape and a very narrow waist and very big panniers.
Yeah.
Beautiful dress that would have been similar to Marie Antoinette's dress.
And also like the sketches of the hairdos.
Yeah, the hairstyles. The shoes were quite nice. Actually, the shoes were hers.
Yeah.
Everything that had her monogram on it in the exhibit were things that she owned. So the shoes were hers. No, I don't think any of her dresses survived. There was a beautiful muslin dress, in layers and layers of muslin that was quite beautiful. That wasn't hers, but she would have worn something similar at the time. And that caused scandal because that was material that was usually worn in undergarments.
Well, that one, yeah.
Yeah, it was very beautiful. Some beautiful hats, jewelry. There was a replica of that necklace that was the necklace that started the whole campaign against her. And then as you went along, you saw furniture and things that she owned. And then in the end, quite tough was the part of her execution where they have what they believe is the guillotine that killed her in the end. A very heavy stone with a blade attached to it. I mean, you kind of can imagine the impact of that when it's horrible to see, but very interesting, the exhibition. And then at the end of the exhibition, you came to this room with all modern designers and inspiration.
Oh, that was a nice room.
That was really nice.
That was maybe one of the best.
Well, because then you put it in a more modern context, which is great. Now, we had to become members to see this exhibition because it was sold out. It's fine. I got a membership for me and with a guest, so Arne could come in. And now we have it for a year, and it's actually pretty good because we're going back to England in June.
Yeah.
We're doing a garden trip, and we'll be back in England. So we'll go to London, and there's an exhibition of Schiaparelli, the surrealist designer that was a contemporary with Chanel. And that's going to be a very exciting exhibit. I already saw a little bit of it on Instagram. Looks great.
That would be very interesting.
Yeah. Apparently, Schiaparelli and Coco Chanel hated each other. So maybe there's something about their rivalry too.
Yeah. But what I found fun or very interesting with the Marie Antoinette was also the new part with Let Them Eat Cake.
All right, yeah.
Was it Moschino?
Well, it was all the modern clothing, but the Moschino dresses were really
that
nice.
Looked like cake.
Sugar, yeah, they looked like sugar.
That was so cute, so nice. And the hair, the sketches of the hairstyles, I found very interesting. And if you see Bridgerton and the Queen in Bridgerton, what her hairstyles are actually not so far from truth.
Yeah, from what Marie Antoinette
Yeah, when you
wore,
open the cage and there's birds in your hair
Yeah.
and a big ship. And it's a very interesting.
I wonder about the weight though in the head. How heavy it is
Yeah,
to
I don't
carry.
know.
I mean,
Must be
all
heavy,
these
you would
things.
think.
Yeah.
At least they got very straight. Their back would be very straight.
Right.
So, yeah. And we also got some new cans to our collection.
Yes.
have got
Yeah. Because Arne.
How many? 6 new cans.
Yeah, Arne had some. He bought some stuff and had a friend of ours who was coming to London bring them with her.
She's our can dealer.
Yeah. What is this one? This one?
This is new. So this is the is it football?
The American
maybe?
football.
And it has we had a few of these before. This is under the sweater, so he looks more.
Oh yeah, so it looks more buff. Oh, I thought it was all going over the sweater.
Yeah, no, I saw in the picture. It actually is under
It's
here.
under the sweater.
And we have a helmet, the ball, and so we have double of
And the
socks.
shoes are right.
The shoes are This is perfect now.
Wow, look at him.
Yeah. So he's. We have one extra trouser and a pair of socks. So he's in the box.
Are these boxing
Look,
shoes?
he's in the box.
Are these shoes right?
I don't know. They came with him.
Look at this.
That we have to check on the picture. See now he is archived.
Yeah. And then we have a boxer with boxing gloves, a towel, and socks, and these shoes, which we don't know. We'll have to look at Arne's
Maybe
book.
they look more like skiers.
Yeah, but maybe they are. Maybe they are. Who knows? But he's very cool.
Yeah.
Look at him. So cool.
And then we have this outfit, and he looks a bit different. His legs are wider,
Yeah.
but I think he is actually very cool. I like this one. And the outfit is one of the classic outfits. I don't think it has a name. I'm not sure, but it's very nice. And then we also got this one.
Is the hat there? The hat belongs to him?
Belongs to him, I think. I have to look at the
Yeah,
pictures.
this one's
because
wearing
it's
a
been
really
moving.
nice knit.
This jacket is just amazing.
Let's see. Yeah, a beautiful knitted jacket.
Yeah, and then we got the what's this called? Rugby?
No, this is a baseball.
Baseball.
But there's no baseball. Oh yeah,
it's in his.
There is.
Yeah, and the baseball is in his glove, and you have this one.
Yeah,
He's complete. He has the same shoes. I think he has the same shoes as the football player.
I think they're all complete.
Yeah, this outfit needs a little wash.
Yeah, they all need a little tender loving care.
Yeah, and the boxer, he had flocked hair.
All right, yeah, I didn't think
about that. So
yeah.
it's very nice.
And it's actually in good condition. There's a little, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's quite good. And then
The flock there is nice.
Yeah, I also found these mod clothes, which I also find interesting because they are not so well made as the first clothes. Like these from the beginning, they are very well made. These are nice, but I have 3 outfits, so now I'm looking for 3 naked Kens or Allans. But you see the jacket, there's no lining.
And it looks to me also that Ken became a little more muscular because this is a little loose.
Yeah.
He became buffer.
So I got 3 outfits from...
But they're nice. The mod stuff is nice.
Yeah, but look at this jacket. But then I bought this one. He and on the body it says 1968. And he came home and Carlos saw there was something strange on the neck.
Yeah.
And the head says...
1990 something.
Not 2005. But the head is from the 68. But it's made in 2005.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't match the body.
No.
So I have another one coming, and he is all made in 2005. But then I guess the head and the body is the same.
Yeah.
But I think he has a nice face.
Yeah.
Don't rip his
No, I'm not
head
going to
off.
rip his head off. I mean, come on. Do I look like somebody that would rip somebody's head off?
No, but he has a nice face.
Yeah.
Very.
He does.
It's kind of avant-garde. If you think about 1968, he looks like he's from the 80s or something.
So this is one of Arne's hobbies now, collecting
new
cans and garments and going through thrift stores and looking through and seeing if he can find other things for his cans. And speaking of thrift stores, I do remember you went and you bought a really fun crochet
I found a crochet
little
thing.
textile that was interesting because it's different from what we usually find.
But first, look at this outfit. Gorgeous.
Very nice.
So this is something I found in the thrift store
It's very nice.
in Tromsø. And I haven't seen this crochet square before, so I'm gonna make one of these.
It's very nice.
It's just double crochets or single, what you call it, and chain stitches.
Let's move it closer to the...
But I think it's really
It's
cool.
amazing. It's beautiful.
I don't know what it's used for.
Well, this is a runner.
Yeah, but it's in wool.
Yeah,
That could be.
but it's very nice. So whenever you're in a thrift store, if you see unusual pieces like these, buy them. And usually they don't cost anything. This was probably cheap, or no?
Have you seen how much I paid for it?
Well,
not
okay. Let's make a deal. Let's
not
make
that cheap.
Arne. Let's make a deal. I won't see what this cost, and you won't see what I spend when I bought the denim shirt and the jeans.
No,
Do we have a deal?
Actually, you told me.
Oh, yeah, I
So I went and I was thinking, it's cheaper than the jeans.
Yeah. I can't say anything anymore because
Do you want to know?
I went a little overboard. No, I don't want to know because then I'll just get.
You know, people probably wear this as scarves these days.
Yeah, it's
Maybe.
beautiful,
Could be a scarf.
but it is very, very beautiful. So I take it back. Sometimes they don't cost that little. But anyway, when you find interesting pieces like this, they are, in our case, something that can inspire us. And another thing that I really like about it are the colors on
Yeah,
it.
I think it's
I think
very
the
nice.
colors are really nice. I like the black, but then I like the way the colors have been done. And maybe it's because of the technique. It's kind of, it looks really nice. I mean, sometimes these things can be a little bit too gaudy or they're so thick as well. But this one's
very
really nice and it's soft and it could make a really nice scarf or something.
So, but the color combinations, just
Colors are nice.
finding these things in thrift stores, there's so much inspiration because we can do this square, which I've never seen before, but you can also pick color combinations from this. So I really love this one. It's very nice. You want to know the price?
You know what? I think it's what I don't know won't kill me. So
I'll say it's not over 1,000 Norwegian.
oh, okay, good. Oh, okay.
Not
But
over.
it's not over, but near. Anyway, no, don't worry, don't worry. I cannot open my mouth. I cannot say anything because of what I did. I was very naughty. I got carried away. I found that denim shirt and I bought some jeans and so
You did some damage.
I did some damage and I think you've done some damage.
I've
So
done
we
some
are
damage.
even.
Yeah.
There's nothing to discuss here. Nothing to discuss.
Not. And
And what you don't know won't kill you.
No,
Isn't that
and
what they say?
Yeah, and I prepared for the next trip. I'm gonna bring this one.
Yeah.
This is an old pattern from the Husfliden arts and crafts store called Lillehammer that I started on the cruise a while ago. So I think I'm gonna bring this with me on the train trip and try to finish this one. And I'm gonna bring the socks,
Yes.
the folk costume socks, which I didn't touch on the last
Correct.
trip.
So our Canadian trip or our tour in Canada is coming up soon and we are super excited about it. We are doing 3 very big events. The first one is in Quebec City. We're doing it in English, but it will also be translated into French simultaneously. So those French speakers who rather have it in French will be able to use their phones and earpieces to hear the translation. Super excited about that event, which will take place on April 9th at the Fairmont Chateau Frontenac. So we're looking forward to that one. We've never been to Quebec City. Super excited about that. Then we're going to fly over to Toronto And on April 11th, we are doing a big event with the Toronto Knitters Guild that we're also very excited about. So that's on the 11th. Last I checked, there were still tickets available for both of them. Very few spaces left, but both had availability. So if you are interested in finding out more, go to arnecarlos.com/blog and you can take a look at those dates and see if it works out for you. Toronto, April 11th, and Quebec City, April 9th. There will be a nice event with a lecture, an inspiration, a nice talk. After that, there's a mingle, book signing, meet and greet, and all that. So we're very excited. Then we're going to take the train. And we're very excited about that. We're taking the train from Toronto to Vancouver. And when we arrive in Vancouver, we will spend a few days there. Then we'll spend a few days on Vancouver Island doing a retreat, a 2-day retreat where we're going to teach our sweater workshop and our stocking, the traditional Norwegian stocking traditions with cables. So we have those 2 classes. Unfortunately, that retreat is sold out. And when we finish that retreat, we are going to do a big event in Vancouver, which also right now is sold out, unfortunately. However, they may have a wait list. So all the information about the 3 events are on our blog at arnecarlos.com. Yes. And now I would like to ask our Canadian viewers if you would like to give us some tips on what to pack. So, because, I mean, we're okay with weather, we're Norwegian, and we know what to expect in Quebec and in Toronto, judging by what we see on the weather app. But then we're going on the Canadian train, and we need to pack smart.
Yeah, we can't bring a lot.
We've got a small cabin, very small. We need to bring probably a soft bag, and we're spending 4 nights on that Canadian train, which means we're spending 4 days. Yeah, it'll be 5 days altogether because 2 half days, I suppose.
Maybe I have to focus on one thing. This or the socks.
Yeah, space is going to be a little scarce.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe some flannel shirts. I don't know. I'm in my Canadian lumberjack era.
So I can wear this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe a thick sweater, maybe a thinner down jacket. Is it going to be... We're going through time zones, and I suppose we're going in the Rocky Mountains and through weather.
But are we leaving the train?
Yeah, I mean, well, when we get to train stations, we can get off, can't we?
So we leave a little bit of everything.
Yeah, so we'd love some packing tips. What should we bring? Flip-flops for the shower. I got that one written down already.
Slippers for the coupe.
Slippers from when you're in the train, obviously. Right. So yeah, let us know what you recommend us to bring for that. I am planning on continuing knitting my sock. We are also doing a knit along on the train. We have a group with us. So we'll do that. And hopefully it will be fun.
Yeah, I think it will be
we
nice.
do love train travel.
Yeah.
So please, Canadian fans and friends, do let us know in the comments your packing tips for these 4 days on the train. And I'm going to continue thinking intelligently about how to pack. I'm not a very good packer. Neither is Arne. We are overpackers. We need help.
The hard part is to just bring one bag into the train. That would be difficult.
That would be very difficult. One bag, and preferably a soft one that you can slide out of sight, kind of. So that's going to be very difficult. And then you get to check in a big bag.
Yeah. Only one.
So yeah, only one. Well, you can check in more, but you have to pay. So story of our life, right? We're not very good with packing, and therefore we seriously need help.
So we need to do all the shopping in Vancouver. But what you bring into the room is a cabin is our problem.
Exactly, yeah.
You just sleep next to the things. Yeah. It will be fine.
I think we're going to have a good time, fingers crossed. And last but not least, we have one final announcement to do before we conclude this Sit and Knit for a bit. We opened a trip, a knitting cruise here in Norway in September when the weather should be perfect. This March weather was quite unusual, honestly. I mean, if you have been with us on March cruises in 23, 24, 25, you know the truth, right?
Maybe I'm gonna wear this one on that cruise if it's finished.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. So anyway, we've got a trip that we opened for September 24th. It's a very special one. It's on Hurtigruten, but it is the North Cape Express. So that trip starts in Oslo.
Yeah.
We board the Hurtigruten ship in Oslo, and then we sail south inside the Oslo fjord. We leave the Oslo fjord, and then we round Norway in the southernmost point, and then we continue upwards and upwards to the North Cape. It's a beautiful journey. We've got 5 or 6 excursions included. One of them is a meeting with Annemor Sundbø, who is the #1 authority on all things knitting and cultural history here in Norway. And she has graciously invited all of us, so Arne, myself, and our group, to visit her studio and have a lecture and see what she's working on up close. So if you're interested in that journey, we still have availability. And all you need to do is go to arnecarlos.com, select journeys. And once you're in the journeys page, look at the top and you will see it says something like, click here for more information about our upcoming cruise, September 2026. Click on that and then you can sign up for that. There's good availability right now. So
it would be nice. A lot of knitting time.
A lot of knitting time for sure.
And when we go to Andemor, half of the group will be in Husfriden for shopping, and the other half go to her atelier, and then we switch.
Right.
Because it's not a huge atelier,
no.
She said, so she can't have
very intimate.
a lot of people at the same time.
Yeah, it's a trip that Arne and I have wanted to do. We've wanted to start a Hurtigruten trip from Oslo, and finally we're going to get to do it, which means that when we have done that trip, we will have rounded the entire country. The mainland Norway, from Oslo to the southernmost point of Norway, and then to the northernmost point of Norway and back. Alta Cathedral is something that we've been to Alta, but we haven't actually been to the cathedral. I'm very much looking forward to that as well.
Because they had a very nice craft store.
Yeah, that's the problem in Alta.
We ended up.
Very nice craft store cathedral. First time we chose correctly. We chose the craft store. Yeah. But I do want to see the cathedral because it is very beautiful.
I've never been there, so maybe it's
gorgeous.
Time to do it.
So there's a lot to do, lots to do, and we can't wait to do this trip. So go to arnecarlos.com/journeys and then follow the link to the signups for this cruise.
Yes.
Yes, Arne.
I think I have to go and get some yarn, sewing thread for your
Arne needs to
shirt.
fix my denim shirt.
Yeah.
I need to get some stuff going. And we need to upload this podcast soon because Anna is waiting for me to send her a text saying that it's done and you can upload it now.
And Easter is coming.
And Easter is coming. That is true.
You have to go and buy chocolate.
Well,
no.
I'm on a diet. As always. No chocolate, please.
No chocolate, but marzipan.
Yeah.
No.
And how is that better than chocolate? Well, it's nuts, I suppose.
It's vegetables.
Can I just have almonds, please? Yeah. So we're going to celebrate Easter. In Norway, a traditional Easter doesn't have... it has elements of snow and skis and crimes. Not in real life crimes.
No.
Novels.
And now there's Jo Nesbø on Netflix.
Yeah.
So we're going to check that out.
Jo Nesbø has a series on Netflix now, crime series.
Harry Hole,
the inspector. So we're going to actually watch that.
And be scared.
And do a traditional Norwegian Easter. And check out our blog. We're going to be putting something there as well on Easter soon, so that you can enjoy a little bit of the traditional Norwegian Easter together with us. I'm going to write a little something for the blog, and we are going to feature all the Easter eggs we have designed and put them on sale. So that will be available to you soon, probably now. as we speak.
As we
So go to our website at arnecarlos.com, select shop, and you can shop Easter eggs until you drop.
Yeah, and they're not eatable.
No, they're the unedible ones, which
Yeah.
are actually better for me, Arne. I
Yeah.
want those. I don't want the chocolate ones this
No.
year.
You
We
can
went
eat
on the cruise. You know what happens on these cruises, right?
Yeah,
They make you fluffy.
that's what they say.
That's what the head chef said. They had a lecture about the food on board, because the food is actually farm to table every day, because it's Hurtigruten and they carry goods. They actually load the food that we then later eat. So the evening they were having the lecture, they had loaded on the salmon that they prepared the day after. But they said, and I loved it when they said, so you're here on this cruise for 11 days and we're going to do the very best we can to make you a little bit more fluffy.
Yeah.
So
And it worked.
we're hereby fluffy. And we don't need to be fluffier than we are.
No,
So
it's fluffy enough.
yeah, although chocolate is quite nice.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just do the formalities,
Yeah,
and
okay.
then we'll talk
So,
about the
yeah.
chocolate later.
Okay, if you like our videos, put your thumbs up, and if you're a subscriber, put on the notifications, because then you won't miss an episode, and you can also be a member if you like to.
Yeah, and if you become a member, you get additional content that you don't get here. There are a lot of things available, like shenanigans, knitting, live streams with knitting questions, although we haven't done one in a long time. We will soon, we promise. And quiz, we love quiz, so we do a lot of quizzes there, and weekly catch-ups, and a whole bunch of other things. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you again very, very soon. So take care. Bye.
See you.